Welcome back to Team Drop Thursday, and my goodness, do I have some beef with a certain brother that's a coach of a terrible club. Whoa! I think we all know exactly what I'm talking about, but we'll get there shortly. Tonight, I'm joined by my dearest friend, Joshua. How are you, mate?
I am good, Scobie boy, and I'm really confused. I'm really
Oh,
confused because
you're confused. Yeah,
no,
right.
I want to say why I'm confused because all week I was told by the guy to my left that it was Sada season. It was Taziki season all week. I heard it, and what happens? I scroll onto my phone, 6:20 p.m. Teams are out. No Elijah Sardis. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. Fantastic. I just, I just don't know how such an irrelevant club cannot blood decent players. Like, it's just,
Mm.
it baffles me. But the
And I
first
will
game, mate,
say,
yeah,
Yeah, I will
yep.
say, as an Essendon fan, I'm pretty disappointed we're not playing him. Given how good he was in that big loss, 25 touches, 11 clearances with a broken hand as a 19-year-old. I'm pretty disappointed he's not playing. And for those that think he might not be fit, he's emergency. So clearly he is. He just hasn't been picked.
Oh, we could go on for ages about that. But we're not even up to that game of the round. First
Yeah.
up, I know you are sweating just waiting to know if Rankin's going to be a laid out or if Mitchy Nevitt's going to be the sub.
And I think both will happen. But I hope they don't.
Well, I'm praying that Ted Clossy comes into the starting, who is it, 22,
Mm.
and he's
Yep.
not the sub. That would be absolutely wonderful because there's been a few tweets going around from people in the know, like Ralphie and whatnot, and you've got like Mitch Cleary, whatever I guess your opinion is of them. They know more than we do, but they expect Clossy to come in. They don't know if he's going to be the sub or not. I mean, personally, I'd love if Nevitt was the sub and Clossy wasn't, but I genuinely think Clossy will be the sub, which is just annoying. It's just, to be fair, he was dropped. So anything is a bonus. Take that and run. But besides that, mate, like Stewart's out. Connor O'Sullivan will go 130. We're all happy with that, aren't we?
No, that was my biggest miss of this season, not getting him. Oh, him and Murphy Reed, which I think pretty much everyone missed Murphy Reed. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
you're going to miss some rookies. But yeah, I really wish I had Connor Sullivan because without Tom Stewart tonight, without Zach Guthrie, without all these players that Jack Henry as well, Connor Sullivan's
Mm.
going to go big.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Moving on to tomorrow night, this is not Supercoach relevant at all, but Pies take on Sydney, obviously, over in Adelaide. Sullivan's in, Allen's in, Will Hoskin Elliott's in. Houston is suspended for that disgusting elbow. Jesus Christ. Geordie's got Achilles inflammation, whatever that means. I mean, that could just be a cover up for something else. Who knows? And Schultz did a hammy in a light training session. Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. Very transparent. There's nothing there at all, except for obviously Matt Roberts will go absolutely bananas. I would assume that one of Sheldrick, Hanley, and Cleary will be the sub. Is that fair to say, Joshy?
I think so, and I'm really hoping it's not Cleary because he's one of these rookies that I'm keeping my eye on for next week. 124k forward. We're going to need someone. But I'll put this question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ed Allen, 71 against the Giants in opening round. If he puts up a 60 plus score here and holds his spot, what are you thinking?
Thinking that there's no job security at all. Absolutely
Yeah,
none.
problem.
Which is a shame
Yeah,
because we honestly, and you know how much I love Pendlebury, but when Long started taking Pendles as CBAs, we looked insane. Absolutely
yeah.
insane. But I just don't like he had one of his best games ever. It was like 24 touches, a goal, 7 tackles, was an absolute bull in there. And then next week was a sub. So you tell me how that works. Like it doesn't. Looking
Mm.
at the Sydney interchange, I think it's fairly safe to say Bice and Laddams won't be the sub. Like we can lock that in.
Yes, there is no
But
chance Bice will be sub.
no, you wouldn't have thought so. Hanley, Cleary, and Sheldrick, the other three. I dare say it would be Sheldrick or Hanley.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, they ran with Sheldrick last week. I'm going to go with Sheldrick again, but could easily be Hanley as well.
Yep. Yep. Lovely. And if anyone gets the subs / late outs for tonight's game, please send them through in the chat.
Oh, don't worry. I'm refreshing like a crazy man. Because
Perfect.
as someone that's like ranked fairly highly, if Rankin's out, there goes my rank. Like, honestly.
What rank are you, mate?
No comment.
No comment. Perfect. We'll move on. Wonderful. Next up, we've got North versus Gold Coast. This is, I mean, I don't read team sheets at all, but like Shees is named at half forward. You've got Bailey Humphrey named at full forward. Like I don't read into that at all. Finn O'Sullivan's back. Zane Dursby's in. Zach Fisher's in. Scott Whitlock and Hanson Jr. go out for North, and Holman comes in for Connor Buderick, which that's wonderful. I mean, yeah, again, relevancy is nothing. But moving on, oh, God, I hope West Coast beat Carlton. There's, again, I guess no Campo. Mackay's back, Cottrell's back, Matty Carroll's in, Corey Durden's in, Young's out, Cowan's out, Moya and Lord are gone. Matty Carroll to debut, 99.1k defender with a little bit of interest there. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty keen on him. I know he actually was already on Carlton's list and got delisted, and then was fighting out for a spot with a couple of their VFL players, and also Francis Evans, who got a spot in the SSP as well as him. I know, I think it's Chloe Williams. She's on Twitter. I think she does stuff with Supercoach. She watches Carlton training a fair bit. She's pretty big on him. Obviously, running defender is gold in Supercoach, no matter rookie or not. Just look at Riley Bice. So, yeah, hopefully he can put in a good game and keep his spot. And at 99k, we're going to need these downgrade options because we all know that after the first few rounds, they start to get really thin. And yeah, one more.
Mate.
What about Nevitt, everyone?
To interrupt.
What about Nevitt? Anyway, before we find out about Nevitt, one last thing I will say is no Pitternet for this game. So that is awesome. Yes. Tom DeConning, his reign continues.
Yes, it does. And just reading, I reckon that Ed Allen will be our sub.
Okay, actually. So he's definitely...
Yeah, so Long should be safe. Geez, I might... Oh, we haven't even got up to the worst part yet. Do we have the subs yet or not?
No, there's just one tweet saying that crisis averted.
Nah. Zach Taylor is the sub for Adelaide. Geelong sub is Ted Clossy, which makes sense.
Let's go. So what I'm thinking, I don't know if anyone else is in this situation, but I'm going to throw it out there just so if you can do this. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to hold Camporelli, have Nevitt on the bench as the E. If Nevitt plays well, then I'll keep Camporelli as that loop. If he plays badly, then I'll probably trade Camporelli to another rookie. So anyone else in that situation that has Campo and Nevitt, I suggest doing that because I think it's going to be a pretty good move.
Yep, absolutely. West Coast have brought in Edwards, Waterman, Ryan, and Hutchinson. Out goes Brockman, Tim Kelly, Noah Long, and Tommy Cole. Who's going to be the sub for West Coast? Because both Tom Gross and Clay Hall have been named on the bench. Now, I'm big on Clay Hall, but obviously sub is going to kill that cash gen.
Well, I think Clay Hall's going to be the one that holds purely because they took Tim Kelly out, and that's a big amount of CBAs that they're going to have to fill. We saw that Clay Hall, I think he had something like 22 CBAs last week, playing as a defensive midfielder, but still those CBAs were there. I think he holds. He's a great contested player. The only thing he needs to, obviously in a Supercoach sense, fix up is he had 18 disposals last week, but 15 handballs. Just kick it a little bit more, Clay, because that 60-something is going to turn into an 80 very quickly if he starts kicking it. But Yeah, contested
Agreed.
based, 11 contested touches last week from 18 touches and 14 contested touches the week before from 15 against the Lions. So that's Supercoach royalty right there in terms of getting points. So I'm really hoping he can hold.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. Next game, Doggies versus Brisbane. Brisbane made 0 changes, while there's a debutant in Cooper Hines for the Dogs, and Luke Cleary is back into the team. Harvey Gallagher, Oscar Baker, and Vandermeer go out, and also JJ comes in. I guess Sam Davidson's just going to do his thing in that centre as well on the wing. But apart from that, do you have anything to add to this, mate? Like, it's just...
Nah, it's pretty stock standard teams. Yeah, there's really nothing to add at all, I don't think.
And the next game of the round is quite intriguing. We've got some fantastic news because hopefully Xavier Lindsay, well, you would think he won't be the sub. The way I see it...
Is he named on field, Scopes?
No, he's at the interchange. But let me read out these names to you. Caleb Windsor, who I don't think will be the sub. Clayton Oliver, who surely isn't. Then you've got Lindsay, Harry Sharp, and Tommy Sparrow.
Maybe Harry Sharp.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, and don't forget, it can be picked from the field sometimes. I know Henderson's named on field. So I still think there's a little bit of a sub risk for Henderson. I know a few people are thinking of trading him. Don't trade him. Like 170K, break even with 29. Even if he's sub, I think he's still worth holding, and then you reassess next week. But I'm a little concerned Lindsay could be the sub just to like get him back into the, like, if he's maybe 80, 90% fitness, maybe they do just have him as sub, not play him straight away in a full game. But we'll have to see. Obviously, it's not going to come out yet, but I'm really hoping Lindsay can, hold his spot. But I think if anyone has a Moraes, maybe start him on the bench just in case Lindsay is the sub.
Or you just hold on to Jack Henderson as well. And if Henderson isn't the sub and Lindsay is the straight swap. Excuse me. Now, mate, I don't get this at all. Top 10 draft pick, was injured.
Yeah.
Can play. Very good footballer when he uses the ball, which literally is a 1 in 2 opportunity. Essendon have brought in Archie Perkins and Will Setterfield for Caldwell and Tommy Edwards. Unfortunately, they're both injured. Why is Elijah Sardis not being picked? What kind of what kind of clown is running that department down there? What's going on?
I think the only thing I can think of is our win against Port Adelaide last week. We played Dylan Shield in the midfield. Now, the first couple of rounds he played off half back, and it was a deplorable idea. As a midfielder, with I think it was 60 odd CBAs against Port, I'll give it to him. He was actually pretty effective and good. Now, Setterfield coming in oversized is an interesting one, but that makes me think we're possibly going to be tagging a Petrarca or Oliver. I think that's the only reason why we'd bring Setterfield in. He did train as a tagger all preseason, and I'd be shocked if Brad Scott has him above Sardis in the pecking order as just a normal midfielder. So I think that might be a tag move, and I think Dylan Shield playing well in the midfield stuff Sardis up as he is that 4th to 5th string mid. And for some reason, Brad Scott thinks he can't play anywhere else. And as a draft watcher, I know he can play wing, but it is what it is.
It's genuinely disgusting. I hope you lose by 100 points. You know how much I hate Melbourne, but that's genuinely pathetic. Moving on, because we'll get cancelled if I go on too much longer about how much of a joke that is. Richmond and Freo, you've got Rioli, Hugo Ralph-Smith, Ryan Campbell-Gray, who is a debutant, and Jonty Fall, either. They come in. Freo have got some big ins. some very big ins. Hayden Young, Switkowski, Sean Darcy, Liam Reedy, Oscar McDonald, James Aish. Going out, though, for Freo is Corey Wagner, Driswold, and Luke Jackson. Out for Richmond is Sammy Layla and Harry Armstrong. My question to you is, we know that Layla's going to get DPP. He's got a hip injury. He hasn't made the flight. What's the go there? If you owned him, would you trade?
I wouldn't. Coming off 112, I have a -8 break even coming off 112. That's going to be in a couple price cycles now. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it with that break even. Especially, as you said, with that 4 DPP, that's going to open up a bit more flexibility for owners next week if he's not back. And I think he is another of those rookies in addition to Connor O'Sullivan and Murphy Reid that a few people missed. And having him in your forward line, I mean, I know he started that elevated price, but he's already made 44K, and with a -8 break even, I think he could end up honestly making 100 to 150K for owners. So stick fat, hold him. We've seen already like all these different rookies start to flop for us. So I think he's going to be best 22 when he's fit. Just hold him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jesus, I wouldn't want the job of picking the sub there.
I think Freo, I think Dudley is either sub or just misses looking at their bench. Because I think Johnson plays, Sharp plays, Banfield's been really good this season. And I think with Wagner out and Warner playing the last couple of weeks, Warner will hold. And then I think it's Dudley sub or Aish sub. Otherwise, the other one misses. So... Yeah, I wouldn't be jumping on Dudley, especially our resident Freo man, as I've been saying, Damo. He's been firm all week. Do not get Dudley. We've seen Switkowski come in, and I think Walters is only 1 to 2 weeks away as well. So probably steering away from Dudley at 99K, as tempting as it looks with that big break even.
Yeah, I agree. And just a shout out to my favourite individual ever, Matty Nichols, number 15, absolute superstar umpire. We're going to move on. St Kilda, GWS, second last game of the round. Oh, my goodness. Steele, Henry, Boxall. Boxall says his debut game, but we all know what happens on Sunday Arvos. They make the team. It's the debut. Then they don't
they would have announced it by now as well,
Absolutely.
I reckon.
Absolutely. But this one does hold some Supercoach interest. GWS have got Caniglio, Leake, Harvey Thomas, and Toby McMullen in. Out Brent Daniels. Let me read this bench to you of St Kilda. Zach Jones, Lance Collard, Toby Travalia, Ryan Burns, Liam Henry, Angus Hasty, Hugh Boxall, and Max Hall. Who's going to be the sub?
So we can rule out Boxall. As we said, they probably would have already named him as sub if he was going to play.
Yep.
Out of that, I think Jones plays. Collard, maybe sub. I'll skip him. I think Max Hall definitely plays. Like, he's been pretty good.
I agree.
I think looking at that, I'm going to say Jones, Travalia, Burns, and Hall play. With Henry coming back from injury as sub.
Interesting.
He hasn't played a game yet. Don't think he played VFL either, so I think they might just ease him in as the sub. But I think it makes it a bit cloudy getting Travalia at 172K. I'm pretty keen on it just because of that defence mid-DPP. But looking at that bench, I think given he was meant to be a sub debut, but Jack Steele was a late out, and then the following week, Jack Steele didn't play again. With Jack Steele back, I'm starting to get really concerned that Travalia is that sub now. But it could be Henry as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, God, this is... Do Leake and Stone even make the team?
Stone, for some reason, has been holding this spot, and I don't know how. Leak, no
Neither do I.
chance. Leak, no chance. But for some reason, Stone's holding. Looking at this GWS bench, though, I think he's a genuine chance to be the sub.
Mm.
I'm going to say from that bench, Ware starts, Mullen starts, Riccardi starts, Brown starts.
They love using Ware as a sub, though. They really do.
Yeah, and then last week he played the full game, though. I'm going to say O'Halloran loses his spot and Stone is sub. But it could be Ware as well. For some reason, they keep playing Stone. I know Lee Kalia is like 5 centimeters taller, but he's still very agile, and I don't know how they're playing Lee Kalia in the VFL over Connor Stone.
They know he's going.
Yeah, but I'd still much rather Lee Kalia on my side. Connor Stone drops uncontested chest marks. Like, he's a junk footballer. Yeah, I just don't. I can't understand how he still gets games. Like, I genuinely can't. I can't.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Last game of the. I reckon this is going to be a really good game. This could easily be the best game of the round, and I love to see that Christian Moraes has been named on field because that's literally. Oh, and Power Pepper's named at full forwards. Yippee! That's about my interest in that. Will Day is obviously injured for like 9,000 years, so that's unfortunate to him. But yeah, do you genuinely have any interest in any Hawthorn players, Supercoach?
Don't think so. No. I just don't think so. Like, they're solid across the board in terms of like 90 to 100 average, like a lot of players, but just no standouts. I think the only one that could potentially get me interested, and he hasn't started the greatest, but Dylan Moore was pretty good the last year. But I mean, he's only started the season averaging 81 with scores of 90, 94, 57, and 84. So I guess there are 3 80-plus scores there. But I think with us getting Petrarca, getting Warner, and even Peatling, I think we might have a few forward options alongside Rankin, Horn Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, where we don't need a Dylan Moore anymore. So, nah, to answer your question, no, I don't think anyone's relevant anymore there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Joe Berry's on the interchange for Port. He could potentially be the sub, like looking at it. Wines won't be the sub.
Moraes on field is massive.
Both won't be the sub. Drew won't be the sub. So, yeah, you kind of leave ones. Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I'm going to say Berry's that sub. I think on that bench, Boak, Drew, Logan Evans, and Wines play. Yeah. I think Soldo was disgusting against Essendon and then lost his spot last week. So I'm going to go with the sub, Joe Berry.
Yeah, no, nothing more to add on that. That's all the games, mate. We're going to get to some comments here. Hoggett, shout out to you. I just want to be the first to say I audibly laughed when Sada says
yes. So did I, Hoggett, and I went straight to Twitter and I tagged the guy to my left just because he just rubbed it in all week. My boy Sard, he's going to average 115. Oh, I'd be surprised if he doesn't go 150 this week. And
mate.
I mean, I'm a disappointed Essendon supporter he's not playing, but nothing makes me happier than the man to my left being wrong.
I just don't like. My God. Like, I go onto Twitter now, and it's just, oh Jesus. Like, I'm reading like that people think Scott is concerned with like the D's physicality, like what you said, but how does he not get a gig? Like, I genuinely just don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, it's only because Scott thinks he can only play midfield, and I think all right. So if Setterfield doesn't tag, then there's a serious problem. If he's genuinely picking Setterfield over Sardis, then oh my God.
Oh, we'll have a fun discussion about that Sunday night, won't we?
Yeah.
Causa, ladies man, pops in. Where is the 140 average for the rest of the year for Sardis? Well, mate,
Yes, Causa.
yeah, I mean, Scott, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Causa also says he's going Clay Hall for O'Driscoll. Well, I mean, that seems absolutely solid. Absolutely
Like it. I'm doing the exact same thing, Causa.
The average can still happen, Scopes. Absolutely it can. When Essendon get done by 100 this week and Sardis comes in next week, I'm going to bang that drum so hard. Sardis, my number one man. I cannot believe how he's not in there. Cannot believe it.
I'll admit he's still firmly on my radar whenever he comes in for a Jack Henderson if he's sub this week or just puts in another poor score. Because West Coast, Collingwood, North, and then Sydney Bulldogs are a bit harder, but then Richmond, it's a pretty soft run for an inside mid.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Tommy wants to know, he's got 570k to grab a forward that's a keeper, Darcy or Rankin.
Well, Rankin's the biggest keeper of the two, but it just depends if you're a little bit worried about that calf. But I think Nick said that they're not going to risk him. He's one of their best players. So him playing tonight, I think that shows that they're pretty confident he's fine. It was a corky.
I mean, you'd be right. You got two legs. Keep going. Mark says, also, does Baz average more than Rosie this year? I wouldn't even know what Rosie's average is.
I think at the moment Baz is going at a 112. Granted, that has a 147 in it, but I mean he's been awesome. Like he's gone 147, 81, and 108, and that 81 was with 20-something efficiency, 11 clangers. Like in the wet, like if he's scoring an 81 with 11 clangers at 28% efficiency, it's clear that his game is Supercoach relevant. And yeah, I just think at Geelong, he looks so fit, he looks so good, and yeah, he could honestly out-average Rosie at the moment. And by the looks of it, Holmes or Stewart are the ones that cop the tag over him, so he's got a clean run.
He's got 12 points on top of Rosie currently, and will never cop a tag.
Yeah, and I think now that Butters is back, Rosie won't cop tags anymore. I know Butters was back last week and Rosie copped the tag, but I think Ross thought Butters' first game back, he's not going to be 100% right just yet. Needs match fitness. Let's go for the guy that's played all season so far and tag him. So I think now Butters starting to get a bit of match fitness. If Hawthorn decide to tag, he could cop McGuinness this week. And then the week following, he's probably going to cop James Jordan. So I think Rosie should be safe in the tag, but I just think Baz could average more.
Yeah, no, I get that. Absolutely. CT Papa says Sardis holders in shambles. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Oh, goodness. Yeah. CT Papa also says, you think Lindsay has a chance to get managed and subbed off?
Off potentially, but I think he's going to get – I think he could be starting sub, and I really hope he isn't, especially with a 9 in his cycle. But I still think it's a really good hold. Even if he's sub this week, you're going to cop a couple of weeks of no cash gen, but when he gets going again, he's still, in my opinion, going to be one of the better rookies this season because he showed his
averaged
potential.
80 or whatever it was. He'd be fine.
Yeah, and in that game he did his knee and scored 9. That was in the first minute and a half. He had 2 touches at half back, mind you. He wasn't playing wing anymore. He was playing a half back. So I think it's a really good hold for anyone that held him. Just keep the faith, even if he's sub.
Yeah, absolutely. Surf Coast wants to know, who are the VC options this week, lads? Personally, I'll be going Sheasel into Merritt.
Yeah, so I was deconning into Brayshaw against Richmond. And then there was a couple of rumours that Pitternet was coming in. So I switched to Sheasel, who obviously, as you said, you're going with him. He's got Gold Coast, who are very friendly matchup against both designated kickers and inside midfielders, which is the role he played last week. But with Pitternet not in, I think I'm just going to go with DeConning against Bailey Williams. Like he could go 150. I'm
And
going to
I
get,
hope
yeah.
there's a certain someone in the chat currently that was
He is.
praying.
He
Is
is. Don't
he?
worry.
Or
He's already commented.
has he?
I'm
Well,
going to
I haven't
crash
seen it
out at
yet.
the
Haven't got up to
quarter.
it.
We're going to
Yep,
get to it.
perfect. We'll get there shortly, and we absolutely love him. So this isn't in any malice or anything, but we do like to take the Mickey Mouse out around here.
No, we love him.
Worth trading Layla, Ben O. No. I think we've covered that. Not happening. Placey's here. Shout out to you, mate. Getting in Brayshaw this week, but tossing up whether to bring in Marich for Nod or if I go with Hall. Marich's scoring power will be nice, though.
I can answer this because I was the first couple of days this week. I was not to Marich until your good-looking self did a price projection for me between Marich and Sardis. Obviously, Sardis isn't going to be playing anymore, but
Doesn't
I'm going to
matter.
switch that to Hall because Marich only has about 50k to make. 50 to 60k. It's not going to be too much despite that negative break even. McGovern's only 1 to 2 weeks away, but are you getting that up now? That price projection? I'm not too sure.
No,
I can
I
get
was
it up.
trying to find out. I'll try and find it, but my goodness. Jeepers. There's a
But
lot
yeah, I
going
think
on.
Hall's going to be awesome. Like if he holds his spot, so obviously just be prepared. If he doesn't get named, you can switch him to someone hopefully. But I think he's going to be a really good rookie. His scoring potential is pretty good, and as we've said, he scored a 60 something last week with 15 handballs, like a little bit more kicks, and that's going to be a great score.
Well, if Marriage goes 90, 90, 80, 100, 100, he makes 100K.
Yeah, and they're pretty damn good scores. And
Yep.
like what
That's
against the
on field
Giants?
as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing that I was thinking about. And I thought maybe Sardis could get close to his scoring. So it does change my thinking a little bit with Clay Hall. But as I said, Clay Hall hasn't actually been scoring that bad either. So yeah, it's pretty tough. But I think you just bank that cash, man. Like the way I'm looking at it is would you rather have like 170k in the bank by going O'Driscoll to Hall and being able to use that on, say, in 2 weeks' time, Bailey Humphrey to Dacos after he's copped his Jordan and Berry tags and get him around 570? Or would you rather go O'Driscoll to Marriage, spend 10k, and then in 2 weeks' time you have Humphrey and you can maybe downgrade someone and get him up to like a lower end of premium? I think I'd just much rather bank that cash and use it in the next couple of weeks for upgrade season.
What if Clay Hall has to be on field?
So I'm pretty lucky. It looks like I've got a few options, especially with Henderson being named, Lindsay being named, never been named, and obviously Marias. But if you need a field Clay Hall, it's risky in terms of he's a sub risk, but I genuinely do think if he starts, he's got good scoring potential, and I wouldn't be worried about that. Because yeah, I'm gonna get his scores quickly up here, and again, the real concern is that he played really good against the Lions in that game that they nearly won, and still got dropped. But he's gone 88 and 68. So that 68 was against the Giants in a flogging. So mind you, a lot of the points went to the Giants players. And he still went 68 with 15 handballs, 3 kicks. Like he just has to
What
have.
does he not like his feet or something? What's the go there?
I think it's because he is so contested. So he's that player that goes in and under, like Tom Mitchell in his heyday, would go out and handball out to the runners. Especially because he is that more defensive-minded midfielder. But
It couldn't be any worse than Tim Kelly kicking the ball. That man couldn't hit water if he fell out of a submerged submarine, honestly.
and that's just the thing, man. Like Tim Kelly getting dropped, that's huge for him. That's huge. Like we said before, Clay Hall had 22 centre bounces last week. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong there, but it was around there. Tim Kelly, what I off the top of my head say he probably has 60, 70 CBAs a game, maybe more. That's a big chunk to fill. And I think Clay Hall either retains what he had last week or he gains a little bit more. I don't think they make him sub. I don't think Tom Gross is a guy that can come straight in and take 60 to 70% CBAs. Maybe they move Harley Reid from the halfback flank back into the midfield, but why would they only put him there for a
I'm
week?
so sick of hearing about him.
Yeah, I know that. And so I'm pretty confident Clay Hall. And just quietly, he looks about 30. He's 19 years old, Clay Hall.
Does he?
He's 19 years old. He's all tatted up, has a skullet pretty much.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I like the cut of his jib. Have you not seen him play yet?
Nah, mate, West Coast games? No. Hogan, the only reason I was watching the GWS West Coast game is because Hogan looked like literally prime Anthony Rocker.
Oh, I love watching Jesse Hogan. He's so strong in the air.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's the next comment. Our dear friend, God, I'm going to crash out at McWalter. Flynn emergency. I don't know if he was in our chat at the time, and I may have offended a few little people in there, but I said starting Flynn at R2 is genuine disaster.
Yeah, you could only do it at flex.
And God has been, he's been praying for ages to himself that they're going to bring Flynn in. Honestly, mate, if Flynn's not coming in after the performance that he had on the weekend, he's never playing. Never. He had like 57 hitouts, 2 sausages, and like 25 posies. He's not coming back in. No, not happening. We've got some more Sada slander. Red Dot Burger, absolutely. Terrible. Ben O says, how much we trust Clay, Hall, and Dudley? I reckon we trust Hall more than Dudley.
Yeah, especially as I said before, Damo is pretty firm on not getting Dudley in, despite his good break even and 99k price tag. He reckons either out this week or next week with Walters coming back in. Swikowski already back in.
Yeah. No, great. Lovely. Lukey G says, too late to grab marriage. Literally, we just spoke about, you've got to, I guess, weigh up the price point, the on-field scoring. What do you, if you're going to have you might be having a Henderson at M8 and his ceiling could be 55 now. Do you go down to a rookie in Clay Hall, or do you boost up that midfield with a marriage, which you can? And his floor is pretty high.
I'll put it to you, Scobes. Would you rather Clay Hall going at 60s but making 150k, or would you rather Marriage going at, say, 85 but making 80k?
I'd almost go Marriage, mate. You know that I love those seagull halfbacks that do absolutely nothing.
I said it before. I think it was on the Sunday night stream and probably Rage Trade Mondays. Look out for Rage Trade Mondays on Monday. Yeah. I said that I cannot believe I chose a 4th to 5th string midfielder in Humphrey over Ryan Marriage. But I am seeing just quickly. I am seeing a few people trade out Humphrey. Why? No. We picked him for the North Melbourne Richmond run, which is literally the next 2 weeks. Why would you trade him? He had a shocking game and still scored 64. He's still 64. Against North and Richmond, that's 80 plus, I reckon. So we'll see.
If he kicks that ball that wasn't smothered, that's 75. Lockett, we don't speak about it.
Absolutely. He was on 68 when he had that. And all he had to do was kick it long down the line. That's all you had to do, Bailey. But you kicked it into the man on the mark and you lost 4 points. Seriously.
It was wonderful, wasn't it? Crimson said, I think this is in reference to our relevancy of Hawks players. We're not saying that they're not good by any stretch of the imagination, because they're going well at the moment. They're flying. But I think this is maybe more suited to your area of expertise, draft, potentially.
Yeah, true. But again, you're saying these players' names, and don't get me wrong, Amon has started the season pretty good. Sicily, not so much, but put Amon up against Sinclair, Zorko, Whitfield, Sheasel, Houston, Clark, Wanganeen, Malera, Dale, Holmes, Himmelberg's going massive. Even Flanders, when he starts to get back, you're not picking him over any of those players. And same with Sicily. It's just the fact that there's too many options back there at the moment. It's not so much that they're not scoring well, not good players, but you're picking guys over them. And then again, we said with Moore, you're picking Horn Francis, Petrarca, Warner, Rankin, McRae, Daniel, Smith, all these guys over a Moore. It's just the players that are available at their position.
Yeah, no, I agree. Pro, shout out to you, mate. I was on with you the other night. You are an absolute superstar. He wants to know, does Leake play this week? I mean,
I don't think so. I don't know about you, but we went through it before. I think it's either Stone or Halloran or Ware as subs, and the other guys that are going to hold is probably your McMullins, your Ricardis, and your Callum Browns, to be honest.
Callum Brown is not being the sub. Like that's
No.
Brown, Riccardi, Weir. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon Stone plays as well. Like simple as that. That's hard. No, I agree. No, I don't think Leake does play. Also, why do you have Leake? Why?
I think people saw the 30-something% owned in preseason and just went with it. And I think his round one score wasn't that bad. I might be wrong. Supercoach Pro, mate, we know how much we love you, Brad. If I look at this opening round score right now, it's low, and you still went with him? No, okay. So 64 in opening round. So there was grounds to pick him, I guess.
They won by like 10 goals, though, against a Rabble Pies team.
True.
You could have scored 64 out there.
I could have. I could have scored 110, mate. I'm Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, right. Yeah, legitimately. Lenny Donaldson, superstar. He wants to know, Nazaya, Wanganeen, Malira, or Dale? I'm going Wanganeen, Malira in a heartbeat. No second thoughts, because JJ's back this week for the Doggies. We know that he's injury prone, but I would not be bringing in Bailey Dale blind when JJ is coming back. I'd just go Wanganeen, Malira. You, Joshy?
I'm the same, man. And Wanganeen Malira in a contract year. We know how good players play in a contract year. Mm-hmm. Because Sinclair's going so well with his 130 average, nearly 640K, Wanganeen Malira is going sneakily under the radar. He has started the season with 96, 113, 110, and 123. Like, you can't go wrong there. He's been absolutely awesome. And I mean, he's still at a very affordable price too. He's only made 7.7K across the season at 551K. So I'd be bringing him in if you want a solid 90-plus score every week. Doesn't have too much ceiling. That's the only issue, but you're not going to be hopping bad scores from him. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jerb, shout out to you superstar. Going Noddy and Hewitt out for Hall and Travi to end up with 255K in the bank. Sardis was tempting, but not sure he'll get increased time on ground. Mate, he didn't even get peaked, so don't even worry about that. Like, shambles, absolute shambles. I would be super tempted if you could chuck a boost in there and get, say, like a mid-pricer up to a primo. If not, I have no issues with that at all. But
one thing I will say is Travalia. I'm starting to get really cold feet on him.
He was on like 48 at halftime and finished on low 50s.
I know, and scored 80 the week before. But as I said, he was meant to debut as sub, only came in for steal. And the problem is, second last game of the round, you have nowhere to go if he's sub.
No.
You have nowhere to go.
Who do you go to?
You literally have no one. You'd have to go, if you didn't have Moraes, you'd have to go him at 166K. You can't reverse back to Hewitt. Maybe, GWS present a rookie like a McMullen or something. But, I mean, you're stuck at that spot. There is literally nowhere to go to from Port Adelaide, Hawthorn, Giants, and St Kilda. Boxall's not going to debut. They would have announced it. If Travalia played the second or third game of the round, I'd be all for bringing him in because you get a look at if he's sub or not. But you're not spending 172K to bring in a sub. So I'd be very wary of bringing him in.
I don't think you should spend 172K to bring in a bloke that's got a combined total of under 140 points. That's madness.
Yeah, I agree. And there needs to be also a bit of context on that 83. It was against Richmond, but
Mm.
I just love. I think he will be a good player. Like, there's no doubt about it. He looks like an
Absolutely
AFL
agree.
player,
Yep.
but I just think, that 50 is no good at the moment. And also, I need you to pad for a little bit because I need to go to the toilet.
Oh, fantastic. See, that's what I put up with around here. All right. Wonderful. Oh, Jesus, that's horrible. Okay. Supercoach Pro, my dear friend Brad, he says that he's looping Rankin in case he gets injured. I reckon that is an absolutely sound move, and I would be doing the same if I owned him. Absolutely. Gerbs says that he did think about using a boost to upgrade somewhere, but it'd be his third, and he can't justify it that early when his team has no gaps, unlike Joshy's Mo. Real Clarkey areas. Geez, I wish he was around for me to read that out. But no, if you can't get to anywhere, then don't do it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Brandon the Don Unaka wants to know SPP or Kako on field. I'm going Sam Powell Pepper, mate. Simple as that. Just purely because he'll roam up to the stoppage. Kako's a small forward in a terrible team. So, yeah. And I think, like, this genuinely, Powell Pepper probably has the highest chance of suspension out of everyone playing this round because that last game is going to be fireworks and he is a psychopath. Like, he is a genuine psychopath. So this could be the last time we see Sammy Powell Pepper for a while. But I just put him in there. Simple as that. You put him on over Kako any day of the week. I don't think Essendon really has firepower to score heavily. I mean, Nate Caddy will be a superstar one day, but right now he's not. You've got Jade Gresham at half forward. Nick Martin's a gun. Simple as that. Harry Jones. But then like Sam Draper at full forward. Like when we talk about firepower, that is not the epitome of firepower. Joshy, Sammy Powell Pepper or Kako on field?
Powell Pepper has Hawthorn, pretty good defence. It's probably their strongest line, to be honest.
You're going to say the exact opposite as me, aren't you?
And Kako has Melbourne. Would you not rather two small forwards? Would you not rather a small forward against Melbourne than a small forward against Hawthorn with one of the best defences in the league?
Nah, because Powell Pepper's going to get fired up, mate, and this is the last time we're going to see him for 7 weeks.
Oh.
He's going to go out swinging fireworks.
We'll see, but I mean, I think I'd rather Kako against Melbourne. Like they've been, yeah.
I definitely wouldn't. No, absolutely not. Roddy Todd, who to field, boys? Moraes, Lindsay, or Hall? Could you quickly rank in order, please? If none are subs.
Yeah, that's a big thing that you got to say.
If none are subs, it's Lindsay, Moraes, and Hall. If any of them are subs, and we don't know, I don't think Hall will be the sub. Moraes probably won't be. Lindsay has the highest chance of it. Like I own Clossy tonight, and I'm not even putting the E on him. Like I don't think there's any point. He comes on after halftime. It's
still worth it. Like he scored 84 as a sub not long ago.
Yeah, but when did he come
worth
on?
It for an early injury. That's what I mean. Like you never know what's going to happen. Early injury can happen so quickly.
You know, man, I could never wish for a downfall on a player.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Never. I know you, and you've always told me if you can loop. So if you can loop,
boy, that's some pretty good advice, isn't it?
Yeah, and you told me it. So put the E on him. Put the E on him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I might trade Sardis to Josh Bootsma because they're both doing the exact same thing. Lockie Grist, 200k in the bank, Noddy to Hall, and then Kako up to Dawson, or go Callahan to Primo in Whitfield. Ooh. Whitfield or Dunks is super enticing. Enticing. Like, I mean, you can keep Kako. Dawson will probably cop the tag tonight. If they do tag, they're not going to tag Rankin on one leg. I'd be so tempted to go Callahan to Whitfield. But in saying that, geez, you'd want to be watching that game to see where Windhager goes to before lockout, because you'd be shattered if you go Callahan to Whitfield and then you just see Whitfield just being shadowed by Windhager the entire day.
The only problem with that is I know Jordan definitely does it. I'm not sure if Windhager does, but I've seen a lot of taggers this year start at one of the flanks, and if they're tagging an inside mid, start at the flank and then run straight to them. So you'd be so upset if you see, in the midfield, Callahan's got no one on him. Bounce happens, quick tackle, first stoppage of the game. Callahan has Windhager on him. So that's playing with fire, that. And we heard DR on the Monday stream say that he's tried that before, was on the KO 30-second delay, and got completely locked out. So just make sure if you're going to do that,
you're going to love that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Matty Jan? Geez, that's a good picture of Bart Simpson. Thoughts on getting a Sam Darcy or Thilthorpe over a Bailey Dale to get Connor Stone off field?
I think I trust Darcy the most. Darcy's
if you're picking one of them, Sam Darcy. Yep.
Yeah. And I think this has come about from, we were really worried about the defender rookies at the start of the season, but now we've got Connor O'Sullivan, Bice, Trainer, Reed, a lot of people have Pryor like me. You'd much prefer fielding them over a Connor Stone. And I think this is where it comes about, that you can bring in a guy like Darcy over a Bailey Dale, who, mind you, Bailey Dale, I don't know about bringing him in. Like, he started big, but last couple of weeks went that 80-something score, and that was lucky to get to 80, and then did that 110 against Freo. But Freo have been leaking massive points to designated kickers this year, so I don't know about bringing in Bailey Dale, that's for sure.
Game doesn't start at 7:30, does it?
Nah, starts at 7:40, which is all good, because I haven't made my trades yet. Every time I try to, another comment comes through. But I think at the moment I'm literally just doing O'Driscoll to Clay Hall. So I'm just going to make sure my Adelaide and Geelong players are all set, and away we go.
I don't even know who I'm going to trade to Clay Hall. I could even be Sarvis. If Clossy goes well tonight, I have to hold Sarvis.
Who do you say, Sartis?
Yep.
Wouldn't you rather trade Closey as the sub? Who's your mid bench? Do you not have a Camper Rally or another dead rookie, like anything like that? Do you have no dead rookies?
No. Oh, except Boyd at R3.
Oh yeah, but everyone's got him.
My mid bench is Henderson, Clossy, Moraes, and Sardis is on field.
Yeah, that's good. Like, I mean, you'd rather be able to miss Hall because you don't have a dead rookie than have a dead rookie and need to get someone in. Because, I mean, I'm someone that's just trying to address school to Hall, but I've still got Camper Rally. And with no Sardis to come in and Travalia a sub risk, I'm still going to have that dead Camper Rally rookie on field.
Yeah, but then you can loop, which is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice right now having that Eon Mitch Nevitt. I'm not going to lie. And by the way, anyone that's held Nevitt, I still think in a full game, this guy can score 70 plus.
Absolutely.
Like, he's a good player, man. Like,
it's a win-win situation because, like, obviously I know it's using a trade and stuff, but the break even you can wait on. You don't need to bring him in if you don't own him. You can just kind of relax a little bit there. But and owners, well, you're laughing.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a fillable option. Like, he's pretty good. To have a. What was that?
I was going to say, we've got a lot of comments to get through in 13 minutes.
Let's do it then.
All right. Mitchimus Prime, Cutting, Finn. Who's the best primo this week? Brayshaw, Merritt, Sinclair. Merritt.
Sinclair, if you can afford him.
I'm going Merritt. I'm back. I'm all for the Bombers, mate. I'm converted. Should I trade Rosie for Brayshaw or Stewart for someone? No, you keep Stewart. I don't. If that's the only issue, Rosie to Brayshaw, tick off on it. Yep, I'll take that. Was someone taking the PI 555 with Stuart a laid out tonight? I mean, no, that's yeah. Yep. Actually, Mitchimus Prime's right here. Leake did have CBAs. I remember that. He was their highest ranked CBA midfielder because there was no Tom Green. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was in the preseason, but I'm not sure he had too many in opening round, did he? I know Tom Green was still out, but I think come opening round, he had more of a. I'll very quickly have a look at this. I think in opening round, had a little bit less of a CBA role, 28%. So, I mean, a 64 and 28% CBAs, I can see why people picked him.
I get that. That's understandable. Pro said he had no choice on Leaf because he didn't like Patton and didn't want to pay up for Pryor. He doesn't know who to VC. He's just got his C on Brayshaw. Honestly, just take a punt. If you're set on going C Brayshaw, that's not going to fail. Take a punt on the player with the highest upside possible, which is probably Sheasel out of him and Gorn.
Well, yeah, seeing here he's gone Shees or Gorn. A lot of people actually don't realise this, but the Essendon double ruck setup has actually been keeping ruckman pretty par at the moment. I think it's one of the harder matchups in the comp alongside Wicks and Cherry and stuff. So I wouldn't be putting the VC of Gorn. I think Sheasel definitely is the guy that you want to be looking at there.
Yeah, I get that. Excuse me. This one, Umbra wants to know Power Pepper versus Davidson on field. It's Davidson all day of the week.
Anyone that has 129 in their cycle as a rookie, you've got to field him for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. This is a bit of a pat on our backs from Roddy Todd. Loving all the lives on this channel lately. These on top of the Swordplay Pod, Captain's Corner, and number one by a mile, the stock market. Perfect balance. Mate, that's what we're here for. It's literally like, obviously, we're all under the same brand, but those boys put in a monumentous amount of work, and that's for the rookie dump, which... obviously, you get it in one image, but obviously that one image is created by hours and hours worth of work. Same thing for the captaincy. You've got the traditional podcast, which Ross, Janath, Spills, and DR, they absolutely kill it. Then you've got stock market again. Like there's a lot that goes into it. A lot.
And I'll say that stock market research DR does is off the charts. Like the amount of stats he has for each player, it would honestly take up a lot of his time.
100%. Johnny F says, Brayshaw v. Merritt. He's already got Sarong. I just get Merritt.
Yeah, I'm still concerned about tags for Merritt, especially when Brayshaw won't cop any at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like the buys, not many people care about the buys, but only Freo and St Kilda share that buy, whereas like Essendon share it with 3 other teams. So if you want to, like, if this is a 50-50 to you, which I think it is, sometimes I like to do this deciding factor, the buys, and Brayshaw's buys a lot friendlier.
Yep, no, understood. Joshy wants to know, are we selling Nod? 100% we are.
Yeah, there's no point holding a 4 to 6 week injury.
Catch you later. Who to field, Trainer, Pryor, or Reed? No Luke.
Yeah, I'm in this same boat. I mean, I've got 2 defenders on field. Bice is a lock. At the moment, I'm going Pryor. Melbourne gave up a lot of points to general defenders last week.
Yeah.
Trainer's been good, but Trainer, again, he plays... Trainer plays Freo this week. And, yeah, Freo have been giving up decent points to defenders, but I think Pryor or Reed against Melbourne is the way to go. And I'll add one more thing. Pryor this season, he started pretty poorly in his first 2 games, and he still went 50 and 57. And then Port, he was good with a 78. So I think at worst from Pryor, you're getting a 50 score. I don't think he's going to give you that stinker that Reed and Trainer can in terms of that 30 to 40 score.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just think Pryor.
Yeah, I'd be Pryor, Trainer, Reed, that order. But, yes, Pryor. Bro says he can't believe that he's holding Finn Rossi. He's upgrading his team around his spuds, 1 up, 1 down. That's all I'll do. No, mate, you'll be boosting at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. I 100%.
Yes.
Shani Barker says, I'm VCing Holmes, no regrets. Wonderful. Jerb says that he's going to bank some cash by going Hewitt to Trav. Do a cheeky double upgrade, Davidson to Darcy, or Yeet Petraka for... No, hold. You don't do any of those.
Why would you trade Davidson, bro?
Nah.
Like, what's Davidson's break even at the moment?
No idea, but you hold.
Davidson's break even is minus 32. What are you doing?
That's peanut mentality right there, Jerbs. Berners77 says, kept Nevitt, should I field him over Clay or Max Hall? Oh, that's tough. Because you field Nevitt over Max Hall, but I don't know if you field him over Clay.
Yeah, that is very tough. If you can loop. Have that A on Nevitt. If you can't, I think I'm going to tentatively lean against Nevitt because we know he's 100% playing he's starting. He might get subbed off, but we know he's 100% starting tonight, whereas Clay Hall, we can't say that for certain.
I'm just making sure. This is a shout out to everyone as well that's still listening to us. There's 65 of you. Check your super coach teams right now because the amount of times that you reverse trades and it puts your VC or your C back onto last week's one, my God, it is painful. It is so painful. So check. Make sure that you're all sorted. You're happy with it. And you only have to lock in Adelaide and Geelong players tonight.
Yeah, I'm having a quick look now just to make sure that I haven't stuffed anything up.
Get onto that quickly. Just wanted to make sure that, I haven't done something silly like, I don't know, Captain Connor O'Sullivan. Yet he'd probably do better than my previous captaincy options. DB wants to know field Marays or Nevitt. I'm going Nevitt.
I'm going Nevitt as well, I think.
Yep, wonderful. MDM Dism's X. I can either bring in Whitfield and Saligo or Brayshaw or Nazai Wanganeen Malira or I think Nazai will be closer to top 8 defender than Saligo will be closer to top 8 midfielder, so I'm going the second one.
I agree. Like Saligo, he's been pretty good, but I just think the problem is that his ceiling worries me. Like he's gone 100 every single game this season, but only a top score of 126. And if you look at Adelaide's CBA numbers, he's been the 4th string mid. So that's not ideal, and I just don't think his scoring is sustainable. So, like, obviously you do want a Whitfield, and I'd probably be bringing in Brayshaw against Richmond and a really clean run to come. So, yeah, that's the way I would be going.
Wonderful. We're going to absolutely race through these last 10. Kaz said, anyone else stuck with Armstrong like me? No, I'm not. No. No. Shout out to Jerbs. He's just saying thanks for everything you do, Nathan Joshy. Always here, mate. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Sardis not in? Inbox me. Find me on Twitter. DM me at Scobie__, and I'll tell you how I really feel, mate. Causa, ladies man, he's thinking of only doing Driscoll to Clay Hall saving trades for upgrades with 4 boosts. Lock it in. Lock it in. Don't think, do. Simple. Causa on the weekend, a few frees against could have been a 70 game for sure. Absolutely. Joshy just said this bloke went 120 plus as a rookie, like on field. It's Kaz, go to device to check C and VC. That's what you get from us. Absolute superstar advice. Rookie coach. Oh, he's an absolute beautiful human. He says Fraser, Noddy, and Stone out. Whitfield, Hall, and Clear. I think that's meant to be Cleary in. Thoughts, lads? Or you?
I really like it.
I like it too. What's your bench? Like, does Cleary have to be on field? Like, are we talking like a D8 type option? Like, what's the go there?
No, if he's not on field, D8. It's F8. Cleary. I think he's talking about the Sydney Cleary, the 124K Caden Cleary that's played one game.
He's not talking about the doggies on?
No, don't think so. I highly doubt it.
No.
I think because he's trading Stone. So I think it's Stone F8
Yeah.
to
No,
Cleary
I
F8.
think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how late can you do that trade?
Yeah, that's maybe something. Yeah, because you don't want
If
him to be sub.
no,
Like, you got
no,
Hanley there that might be sub and a
surely,
couple others.
surely.
But Caden Clear, oh, sorry, Sydney play the second game, Scope, so he can definitely have a look if Cleary is going to be
Yeah.
sub. They play tomorrow
If
night
he's
against Warm
not,
Up.
absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yep. Lock it
Yeah.
in. Lock it in. Causer says, can't wait for Spills VC on bias. Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Murray's in flex for me. Joshy, are you choosing Kako or Murray's?
I'd go with Moraes.
Perfect. Kaz says their trades are Rosie, Callahan, Noddy out to Merritt, Sarong, Hort. Yeah, lock that. Absolutely. I'd go for that. This is actually a very good comment. The risk of Nevitt potentially being subbed out more riskier than hoping Clay Hall not being subbed.
Yeah, I guess you if Clayhill was starting sub, you know that that's more likely to be 3/4 out and subbed on 3/4 time than it is never 3/4 on and subbed off at 3/4 time.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how you rate it. But I mean, Geelong have some players that could definitely go out over Nevitt. Like you've got your O'Shane Mullins and all that. But I mean, literally, they're about to do the bounce down now. I'm watching it happen. So I think this comment's too late for you. Sorry, Burners.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Wanganeen, Malira, Dale, or Luke Ryan, Joshy?
I'm going to go Wanganeen Malira.
Yep, same here. Bros wants to know what's more important, getting rid of Campo or Callahan? Callahan.
Campo. You don't want that dead
Yep.
rookie unless he's essential as a loop for you.
Yep, no, perfect. Balupa says, should I boost in Dale for Callahan this week or boost in Dawson for Callahan? Can wait a week as well. If I don't get Dale now, his price will rise though, and Callahan will drop. No, don't boost it. No, I'm not boosting in Bailey Dale. No way.
No, your boosts are golden. Like a lot of people are thinking the buy rounds, you get 3 trades, but I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have a round where, say, round 18, round 19, you're gonna cop 2 or 3 injuries in 1 week, and all you're gonna want to do is do 3 trades, but you might have spent your boosts. So just keep them for an absolute priority trade.
Perfect. Rookie says it was Cleary F8 and that he just doesn't want Dudley. Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, fair
Yep.
enough.
No, lock your trades in, mate. Riser says TDK or Brayshaw VC and Whitfield captain. Oh, that's naughty. That's very naughty. I'd probably not go Whitfield captain just for the pure stress of Windhager could go to him. And I think you won't even need Whitfield captain anyway. Like if you go TDK or Brayshaw, you're taking that VC. Like I'm fairly confident to say right now, you won't need a captaincy option if you're going TDK or Brayshaw. And Burner77 said that he's backing in Nevitt. He got in just in time. Joshy, we are done. We are out of here. When are we going to be on next? Tell me.
Sunday night with DR for Supercoach Talkback. A little bit of a different Supercoach Talkback. A lot of the viewers may have noticed that we got to 9 or 10 people at a time, which was a bit ridiculous. This time, the original concept was like an SEN Talkback call in. So we're going to be having a timer, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Anyone that comes in, have your rant, have your gloat, however you went. Whatever you want to say, you've got 2 minutes, and we're going to keep churning it out like that. Just make it run a bit smoother, I reckon, and better viewing.
Perfect, because last time it went for about 3 hours, and DR does not pay us enough to be on here for 3 hours. That's going to be wonderful. So practice speaking quickly. You've got a short amount of time. It's timed. Get your words out. Get your hatred out. Get your love out. Do whatever you need to do. Joshy, where can the listeners find you?
They can find me on Twitter at JG232_. And one more plug, don't forget Rage Trade Mondays.
Yes, Rage Trade Mondays will be up and about. You can find me at Scobie __ on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for everyone that's joined in, dropped a comment, done all the subbing, all the liking, and especially check out the Supercoach Swordplay website for all the information there. Check out Third Man Up as well on X, all the work that Ross and Janath do. It is insane, especially what DR does. And also, don't forget to check out Chit Chat with Spillsy as well. Give him some love there. We are out of here. Hopefully, next week, we will see the return of Sardis. Good night, everyone.